AITA for buying lower-grade steaks when my in-laws visit and serving my mom and dad Wagyu. My wife and I live far away from both of our sets of parents. We visit them a couple of times a year and they visit us about the same. My mom and dad love food. They will buy pounds of garlic and leave it in a rice maker for a month to make black garlic. They plan their vacations around amazing restaurants. My in-laws are lovely people, but boiling chicken drumsticks is fancy for them. And they refuse to eat steak that isn't well done. I discovered this the first time I went to their home for dinner. I wasn't even asked how I like my steak. Everyone got a well-done steak. It took me years to convince my wife to try a medium-rare steak. Now she loves them. I bought some beautiful prime steak for them when they came over when we moved in together. I made theirs medium well, and I died a little inside. Her dad took it back to the grill and destroyed them. So now I buy select-grade meat. I've been buying some excellent quality Wagyu for when my parents visit. Not every single time. Maybe once a year. My wife says I'm being an asshole by not treating both families the same. I don't think I should waste money on great food for them when I know how they will treat it. NTA, but perhaps you can think of something else your in-laws would appreciate: a splurge on drinks, desserts, or even an experience that would be meaningful to them. And more importantly, make your wife feel heard, validated, and like her family is important to you. Info: why don't you just not serve them steak? Surely they must like other meals. I might get downvoted, but honestly I do not see the point in paying for really expensive steak for someone who is going to want it served as burnt offerings. They certainly won't understand the difference. NTA. A burned hunk of select steak tastes the same as a burned hunk of Wagyu. This is a financial decision based on the tastes of your guests. My mom and dad love food. They will buy pounds of garlic and leave it in a rice maker for a month to make black garlic. Info. As in I need more info. Info. Why does it have to be steaks? Why can't you buy something nice for your in-laws that you don't feel like they'll waste? Info. Your parents love food, so you get them special food. Do you get her parents things they love? I think NTA, not because of the well-done steak thing, I agree, but I also think people should cook their food however they want, but because you said your in-laws aren't really food people. So it's not about being snobby, it's about not spending the money on something they won't appreciate. However, I would advise that you do spend that money on something they will appreciate and make sure you're treating them equally overall. Info. If they don't care about steak, what are you doing to treat your in-laws in ways that they do appreciate? You don't give a Ferrari to a novice driver. They'll crash it on a grill. Nah, your wife is being silly. If she wants to feed her parents destroyed Wagyu, as long as she works, let her buy it. Otherwise, start grilling chicken, or make a turkey or a ham stuff reserved for holidays and celebrations. That way they feel special and you don't waste quality steaks that someone else would appreciate more. It's not about equality. It's literally a waste to feed those people specialty foods. Buy and prepare meat that is properly cooked, well done, such as braised short ribs or lamb shank, barbecued spare ribs, beef stew or brisket. How about pulled pork from a lovely pork shoulder? All are cooked low and slow for hours. There's lots more food than steak. Buddy, branch out. You are NTA unless you fail to learn from this experience. Don't waste steak on your in-laws. And don't ostentatiously make different food for everyone. And I fully support you in refusing to overcook foods. My grandfather owned the biggest ranch in the state when he was alive. He just came back to say you're NTA. NTA. My family dynamics are the same. Why throw money down the drain on people who won't appreciate it or even notice? Find a way to make sure your wife and in-laws see the appreciation in a similar way, since food isn't the option. Do you take them to shows, movies, or pay for any of their interests? That might help even out the feelings your wife is having. NTA. You are treating both families the same. You are feeding both of them the food they like. There might be an argument to be made that you could spend more on non-food things for her parents. So the amount of money spent between the two pairs is similar. But from the food standpoint, I think you're in the clear. NTA. If a person appreciates champagne or high-end alcohol, they're not necessarily going to appreciate being given $2 chuck. And the person who does like 2BC isn't going to necessarily appreciate the quality behind top shelf. Just make sure you don't cheap out in all areas of your dealings with your in-laws. Maybe they appreciate artisanal cheeses or designer desserts. NTA. This is an absurd demand from your wife. I want you to waste money by ruining very nice and very expensive steaks, or I want you to only serve cheap steak to your parents. Are you otherwise a good host to them? Do you offer them something to drink? Do you make them feel welcome? Do you serve other things? Snacks, apps, sides, that are quality? Then you're doing fine by them. I guess if you serve them Kraft Mac and Carlo Rossi to go with their steak, maybe I would start to waver a bit. NTA. Do both sets of parents appreciate the food? Yes. You are serving each to their tastes. There is no reason to waste money on meat that is supposed to be served rare or medium rare on people who don't want to eat their meat that way. Edit. If your wife still complains, you can suggest spending more on their favorite sides or desserts. NTA. They wouldn't like the Wagyu steak anyway, you are actually looking out for them. NTA. A well-done Wagyu steak essentially ruins it due to the fact that the primary reason you would invest in one is the marbling, which gets melted away into nothing when you grill it too much. You would be paying to have your in-laws pour money into your grill. In the event of other food, I could definitely see an argument for maintaining balance and buying both your in-laws and parents the same food, but for this, functionally a Wagyu steak is no different from a select grade by virtue of how they prepare it. Expecting you to fork over hundreds of dollars for steaks they will ruin is unreasonable.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.